So to moderate the panel discussion, may I call on Ma'am Ivy?
Okay, hello again. May I call, paki-highlight naman po ang mga program heads natin so they will be able to answer some of the questions that are raised. Okay. Okay. I would like to start with a question that was earlier asked. This one is directed to Forester Laviña on, this one is asked by Juby Reyes, and she wanted us to ask if there are plans to explore other caves in other cities and municipalities within Laguna. Okay? Siguro ang tanong dito is na-report na ba ito sa DNR para siya ay ma-explore at ma-classify. Ma'am Laviña, are you here? Okay. Wala pa ba? Kalis na ba si Ma'am Laviña? Among the members of the NICER team, you might be able to answer this. Are there other potential caves that need to be explored in the Laguna area, municipalities of Laguna area, that you know of, na hindi pa siguro nare-report? Okay, so maybe we can go back to that question a little later kapag si Ma'am Laviña can answer it. So on. Okay, for the other projects, okay, I'll just read some of them. Okay. A comment by Rocky Negrido mentioned that hopefully everybody can avail of the outputs of the coffee table book. This is directed to project 2 that mentioned that they'll be making or issuing a coffee table book later on. Okay, so hopefully these materials would also be available not only to yung mga local DNRs natin, but also for public consumption. Okay? And they congratulate the efforts of all the teams. Okay. Ma'am Laviña, can you answer yung question po ni Jovi? If there are plans to explore other caves in other cities and municipalities within Laguna? Yun po yung question.
Yes po, ma'am. Yes po. We will continue our inventory and identification of caves within our region. Currently po, meron tayong lima na within Laguna.
And which municipality, ma'am?
Cavinti, Rizal po, and Louisiana.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for that.
Welcome po.
Okay. There was a question that was directed to me that ang sabi ay anonymous daw muna sila. This one is directed to the project 3. Curiosity on why there were some house cockroaches found inside cave ecosystem.
Okay. So thank you for that
Kaya
question.
may mga ipis ng bahay na nasa cave ecosystem dun sa Lobo, Batangas, tama po
Sa
ba?
Lobo, Batangas, sa Kamantige.
Okay, nakakita nun.
Actually, hindi naman ito ang first time na nakakita kami ng Periplaneta americana o house cockroach. There's a recent paper we published, Lucanias et al. Published 2022 in the Philippine Entomologist. The first documentation was in Samal Island. And the conditions of having common house cockroaches in caves is that they are close to human habitation, so human settlements. So most probably doon galing sa mga bahay yung ipis bahay na napunta sa kuweba. Ang nakaka-alarm lang doon sa Kamantige cave ay bukod sa mabaho yung ipis, hindi namin alam, nagulat kami na may kasamang spider na invasive alien species din at doon sa ibang bansa ay tinuturing na public health hazard kasi may venom siya na pwedeng makakos ng skin necrosis. So hindi namin alam, Ma'am Laviña siguro, hindi po alam namin kung bigla namang mag-alarm baka naman ma-alarm yung community, pero siguro kapag na-publish na po namin ay ibibigay po namin agad ang report sa inyo para mabigyan ng karampatang aksyon. So kasi baka kakailanganin na ngayon yata potentially classified siya as class 2, pero baka pag ganun po na may health hazard ay baka class 1 muna habang hindi pa na. So hindi rin po kami aware, ako nga pumasok sa kuweba wala akong gloves. So bukod sa nadiinan ko yung ipis ay hindi ko alam yung spider pala ay venomous.
I think only when you came back after the trip saka
Nung na-identify na ni Ma'am
positively
AP.
identify that it was a venomous spider. I heard from FR Dupo that this one is a not a new species but actually a new record for the Philippines. So it begs the question, how did it enter the Philippines? Ano kaya
paano nakarating sa
manner
Pilipinas?
of entry? Okay. So
Nag-raise ng kamay si Ma'am Laviña.
Yes, Ma'am Laviña?
Actually, sir, yung pong Kamantigi Cave ay classified as class 1C with
Sige.
extremely hazardous extremely hazardous.
Kasi matarik po ang pagpasok.
Yes po, condition. Yes po.
So yun, makakadagdag po yung ano.
Yun po
There's
yung
a
kanyang
question from the panel. I think the person raising her hand is Miss Anavi. You have the floor, Ma'am Anavi Echavari. Ma'am Anavi.
Ivy, you can just read the question na lang.
Okay. The question is, arthropods are known to be vectors. In cases of roaches, what are the common diseases brought about by these roaches? And then, can these be deadly or alarming? So, cockroaches yung tinitingnan.
Pakiulit?
Arthropods daw are known to be vectors. Probably vectors of diseases ang minimin dito ni Ma'am Anavi. In cases of roaches, what are the common diseases brought about by these roaches? And can these diseases be deadly or alarming?
Yung ipis, alam naman natin na may mga associated salmonella, etc. Pero hindi ko alam kung maaring yun din yung nandun sa kuweba. So by itself, hindi naman mabaho lang talaga yung kuweba kasi nasa entrance pa lang kami, hindi lang mapanghi yung guano, may kakaibang amoy, may amoy ipis na kahalo. So yung cockroach lang wala naman siguro. Ang good news lang doon, nandun na rin yung natural biological control ng ipis, yung wasp, yung Evania appendigaster.
Okay.
Yung ordinary native spiders natin are mostly normally harmless. Pero itong nandoon sa Kamantigi na galing pong hindi namin alam kung anong bansa sa Mediterranean region, yun po ang record. Paano nakarating sa Lubo?
Okay. Any more from the group? See any more in the chat box? But maybe some of you can direct your questions to our panelists here. Meron pa po ba naka-raise na hand? How about for, what is this? Project 4? Meron na bang mga putative microorganisms that already have been identified ng group niyo po?
Yes, good afternoon. Yes po, no? So we have already submitted our samples for sequencing to validate the identity. But along hand, we are also doing phenotypic and biochemical characterization. So meron na po kaming mga na-identify. At the same time, ay meron na rin po kaming na-assay for beneficial bacteriocin production. And they're also pathogenic, which are may mga hina-harbor po silang genes which are related to antimicrobial resistance. So inaaral pa po namin siyang mabuti so we can release the data the soonest possible time after the validation of the identity.
Thank you, Ma'am Marian.
Salamat po.
I think that will be all from the mga
Ma'am
nag-direct
Ivy,
sa akin. Yes, sir. Can you share
idagdag ko
more,
lang po
please?
na doon sa initial finding ng mga tungkol sa cockroaches, kapag may house cockroach, yung Periplaneta americana, ay mostly nawawala yung native cockroach. Yung native cockroach natin ay hindi naman mabaho. Yung mabaho lang talaga itong Periplaneta americana.
For the benefit of our audience, what is the ecological importance of yung ating native cockroaches versus that of yung invasive species?
Lalo na yung nasa guano. Actually, yung mga native cockroach ay part talaga ng ating natural ecosystem. Maaring kasama sila sa nagbibigay ng potential antibiotic producing microorganisms. Sila din ang nagpapayaman ng guano, kaya nagagamit ng mga farmers bilang fertilizer yung guano. So, mahalaga yung native cockroaches. Pero ayaw natin yung ipis bahay na pumunta sa kuweba.
So, would there be a difference in guano production kapag ang non-native species ng cockroaches ang more available or mas dominant in any cave ecosystem?
Yun, siguro kailangan ng pag-aaral, pero one thing is obvious. Halimbawa, kung ang isang kuweba na potential tourist attraction sa isang community ay maging predominant yung ipis bahay, nakaka-turn off sa mga turista. Kasi hindi amoy guano, amoy ipis. Iba talaga.
But one thing is for sure, that not all ipis are bad. Or in the case of cave ecosystem, native ipis
You
is
can
good
ask
for the cave
Mr.
ecosystem.
Christian Lucanias, ipis be with you.
Ipis be with you. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Like to share, any of the panelists would like to share more of their experiences, especially in the last. Oh, I saw yung mga sizes ng cave entrances. Okay. Would it be a hindrance kapag medyo, like me, I have become probably twice the size when I started teaching and going inside caves. This is pandemic body. Kasya pa po ba ako sa mga cave entrances?
Kasya!
Pasok niyo po. Meron
Kasya
po bang
po.
mga girth na kailangan para po magkasya? Okay, so ano naman po?
Kasya naman. Mahirap lang siguro pag vertical entrance. Kasi kailangan mo ng upper body strength.
Excited na rin po sir akong bumalik sa field work ng cave entrance. Sana maimbita niyo po ulit ako. Okay po. May nagtatanong kung merong... How about, are there any questions directed to Project 1 or kaya Project 2?
Nagtaas yata ulit ng kamay si Ma'am Laviña.
Yes, Ma'am Laviña? Like to say something else? Ma'am, nakamute po kayo. Ma'am, nakamute po kayo.
Sorry po. This is all about the recent issuance in which na reclassify yung ilang caves, like yung Palali Cave sa Quezon and then yung Songwan. For my opinion, yung sa Palali Cave, as to the conservation of existing archaeological or biological value niya, nag-improve kasi from class 2 to class 1, more or less. But then dito sa Songwan Cave, from class 2, naging class 1 naman siya. So ang ano ko lang siguro yung critical yung talagang pag-assess natin and then eventually yung kanyang classification at kung paano yung proper management. Dapat balance yung pagtingin natin na kung ano ba yung goal natin, why we are managing the cave, for ecotourism ba or for research or for conservation and preservation talaga ng kanyang archaeological or biological values. So yung mga ganong aspect po. And those projects na naipakita kanina is very, very useful po sa mga future engagement pa natin, lalo na sa proper management ng ating caves. Sana po tuloy-tuloy pa yung ganong project.
Okay, salamat po. I have this query. Most of kasi dun sa NICER project is dealing with biodiversity resources or yung mga discoveries in terms of biodiversity. Are there any caves within the Calabarzon area that have archaeological findings? Okay, mga ano ng mga human remains, mga ano, which is similar to that of Callao or Tabon Cave, na ano. Meron po kaya tayong napipisil na baka maging source? I think in Mulanay meron
Yes.
dati, yeah.
Tama.
But it's in terms of yung mga jars and artifacts yun, di ba? But any other caves na meron pa? Baka yung Yamashita treasure kasi nasa kuweba.
Actually, kung titignan po natin yung data natin sa classification, napakarami po nating class 2. Napakarami po nating class 2. So, definitely marami po
Okay.
na may ganun.
So,
Lalo na sa bandang Quezon.
Opo. Siguro, pag nag-continue pa yung cave researches namin, kailangan na namin magdagdag ng archaeologists dun sa team namin. Okay? So, actually, when we started with the cave researches, mostly biological, pero we realized that geological studies were also needed. That is why nahingi yung pagsali sa grupo ng mga taga-SESAM, ni Ma'am Eslava, okay, sa more of geological yung pagtingin nila sa mga bato. But because nga the caves are also dwelling place of ancient human beings, then maybe in the near future we will also have something like Homo luzonensis also in caves within the Calabarzon area. And we might be needing an archaeologist for that. Okay, but okay ba, sir? Tama ba ang aking assumption dito? Na, ano?
Yes.
Okay po. Okay. So, isa. For P2, may nagtanong na-consider na ba na ang DNR Philippine Red List ng plants? For Ma'am Michelle, na-consider din ba nila yung DNR Philippine Red List?
Yes po, kasama po yun pag nag-check po kami ng mga conservation status. So sa IUCN, tsaka po yung sa DNR na red list. So doon po kami nagka-counter check po.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle. I think that will be all for our panel discussions. But if you still have more questions, we'll have a final open forum later after the last presentation. So with that, I give the floor back to Bonnie. Thank you po sa lahat ng panelists po natin.
Thank you, Ma'am Ivy. And maraming salamat din po sa ating mga project leaders and program leaders who've answered the curious questions of our participants.